Motivation is the biggest scam. I built an 8-figure company and coached thousands of leaders. And here's the truth. If you wait until you're motivated, you're never going to build anything that lasts. So let's break down the 6 strategies that actually work, even when you're not motivated. Number 1, stop waiting to feel ready before taking action, because you're never going to feel ready. I don't feel like it is how dreams die. I work with some of the best entrepreneurs, and none of them feel like documenting their processes, doing a financial review, looking through and improving a forecast, responding to emails. They never freaking feel like it, but they do the things that are required, and they do them despite the fact that they don't feel like it. Letting your feelings be the reason that you do or don't take action in life is a recipe for disaster. And even if you don't feel like it, your daily progress and there's momentum that picks up. You will start to become numb to this feeling, and that is a beautiful thing. When you are so used to doing things that you know are in your best interest, but that you do not feel like, you're able to have a consistent workout schedule, be consistent in the way that you show up to your team, build a business that allows for people to understand what processes need to be followed, what metrics need to be looked at, and how everything is organized throughout your business. Relying simply on your emotions instead of systems will keep you stuck in a fantasy rather than actually executing. So stop waiting to feel ready. Take actions that build your discipline and start taking steps towards achieving your goals. Next is number 2. You are not lacking motivation, you're lacking discipline. Everything we want in life comes on the other side of discipline. You do not want to get lucky in life. I used to think that I wanted to get lucky in life. I thought that would be really cool. It would make me mad when I was a teenager that there were pop stars who would just blow up and become overnight successes, because overnight success is a real thing. You do not want to be an overnight success, because that is actually what creates a lack of self-confidence, because you did get lucky. You don't want to get lucky. You want to have discipline so that you know that you can repeat the same successful actions over and over again and get the same result. If you just won the lottery, you wouldn't actually know how to go start a business and make money so you could replenish that income. You wouldn't have any of those skills. So instead of wishing to get lucky, start acting like you are disciplined, because luck isn't needed when you are a disciplined person. My favorite definition of discipline is doing the things that you say you're going to do. Now this is harder than it seems, because if you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning because you want apps and go to supper, and you hit snooze and snooze and maybe another snooze to where you barely get out of your house on time enough to make it to work, all of a sudden you're going to start having self-confidence issues because you don't do the things you say that you're going to. And the fastest way to get what you want, despite having no motivation, is by scheduling things and having discipline to say, despite the way that I feel, I'm going to do it anyway. Despite the fact that maybe I'm feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, I'm going to take the action anyway, because the action over a long period of time creates the results. Discipline, not inspiration, actually moves the needle in any business. So remember that execution wins when motivation fails, and it's important to be disciplined in your daily life and work routine. Number 3 is one of my favorites. It's a single action method. You need a system that helps you create momentum. You see, the single action method is like a snowball. One small push can send you moving into the right direction. The people who doubt you, hate on you, and don't believe in you are your fuel. When someone says something negative about you, maybe it's online or you overhear somebody gossiping, figure out how you can turn that frustration, the anger, the hurt, the upset into a reason why you have to be successful. You see, motivation just doesn't come from this place of lollipops and rainbows where you're so excited about what the future can look like and it's so beautiful. No, sometimes motivation comes from proving people wrong. And when people start to hate on you or to criticize you, take that as a sign of success, because you are being really warm. And as you are making these deviations, more people will come out of the woodwork, and you will learn how to convert all of that negativity into proving them wrong. Now for me, that is more motivating than somebody who's rooting me on, who's cheering for me, who's so excited about whatever it is I'm up to. The handful of people who hate actually have more power on my ability to prove them wrong and to do what I need to do than the people who are supporting me. And I just know that enough about myself to be able to leverage it, harness it, and create whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So you have to figure out what type of motivation works for you, but this one can be incredibly powerful. I remember early on in my career when I fired this guy, he was a complete idiot. He did not know how to do what he was doing. He was lazy, and his dad was some high up banker, so he thought that he was going to be set for life at some point with some sort of trust lab. And I fired him. 2 months later, his dad sends me a scathing email that was supposed to go to his new employer that said all of these nasty things about me. The email was like, my son was working under this girl who didn't have any experience and didn't know what she was doing, and so that's why he transitioned from his last job. So he's writing an email that's supposed to be sent to the son's new employer as to why the son should get that job, but instead he sends it to me. And I printed this thing and I put it in front of my gym inside my house, and I would read it every freaking day to remind myself of what I needed to do in order to prove it wrong. That form of motivation is so powerful if you can use it to drive the result that you are trying to get. Next up is this: stop being jealous. If someone's success makes you insecure instead of inspired, you're watching it wrong. Their win should make you work, not whine. Other people being successful is the greatest gift you have to create motivation, because you shouldn't hate on somebody else's success. You should feel so inspired about what it took in order for them to get where they are that you get your ass out of bed. You stop watching social media. You're no longer distracting yourself using television shows because you're obsessed with figuring out how to create the life that you want. You're obsessed with understanding what you have to do, who you have to become in order to have something like other people are able to have. I was in Monaco just last week for Grand Prix for Formula One. This has been a dream of mine since I first heard this fabulous woman talking about what it's like to be in Monaco for the Grand Prix. She told me about 8 years ago that it is the most decadent, over-the-top Formula One that exists. And she was describing the people, the environment, and the champagne. And I was just mesmerized by this woman and how she was talking about this experience that she had. Instead of becoming jealous and feeling like that's good for her, but it's never going to be mine, I've worked my ass off and we're to be at a place where just last week I was able to go with my husband to Formula One in Monaco. And it was everything that I ever dreamed of. Not because the experience itself was so magical, it's because of all of the work I've had to do to show up to an event like that, to be proud of myself. But if I would have taken her experience and hearing about this inspiration as she's just so much better than me, I'm never going to be like her, I never would have put the work in to get to where I wanted to go. If you're judgmental instead of inspired by any success, you are never going to create success from yourself. You are always going to come up with some excuse or some reason why somebody else is lucky and they get to have all the things that you want and it's never going to be yours. Well, guess what? It's never going to be yours if that's your mentality. But if you can watch other people who are successful and really be appreciative and celebratory for what they have, because it's a reminder to you what's possible for you, that is a source of motivation. Next up is dark, but it's real. Picture yourself on your deathbed. Would you be proud of today's effort? The single greatest fuel sources for me to get motivated is the fact that I am going to die, which means that whatever it is that I'm fearful of today, I might choose to be fearful of forever. And if I choose to be fearful of it and not go for it and not take risks and not do the hard work, I could end up dying and really having true regret. I don't know about you, but I don't want to have any regrets when I die. I want to be so proud of myself when I die, and I hope that I die in a way that allows me to take a look back on all the things that I did, all of the times I was insecure, all the times I cried and was nervous and fearful about what the future was going to look like, and laugh to myself and think, man, I wish I would have known, because it all worked out. So you might as well create the life that you want. You might as well do the work that's required to make an incredible life, to have beautiful people in your life, to create amazing experiences, to build something that you're proud of that lasts. But if death doesn't motivate you, maybe this last strategy will. This is morbid, but one of the ways that you can use death as a reminder for you to get motivated and get your shit together today is by using FaceApp. Now, most people use FaceApp to look younger, sexier, prettier, but you can also use FaceApp to look decrepit. And every once in a while, when I am just like feeling lazy, I'm gonna have a pajama day, I'm just gonna rot in bed, I will use FaceApp and scroll to the filter that ages you by 40 years. And I will look at myself like an old freaking grandma and think to myself, I do not want to be that old, looking that haggard, not having an incredible, sunky life. I'm going to be ugly at some point. I'm going to be really ugly. and I'm gonna be so old, and I'm gonna be on my deathbed. So I might as well get off my butt, stop doom scrolling, stop distracting myself, and go build the life that I want built. The final strategy is simple. The people that you follow shape your standards. So stop letting mediocrity be your mentor. Your feed is full of losers. Fix it. If you're looking to get motivated, the best way is to stop following people who aren't doing big things. Your social media is not for you to just catch up on your friends. Your social media, especially if you check it like most people do, which is constantly all throughout the day, that means you are consistently bombarding yourself with mediocrity. If your friends aren't doing big things, if they aren't doing exciting things, if they aren't going after big goals or doing something that you too are trying to accomplish, get them out of your feed. Do not have that be your reminder. Because think of it like this. If you're going after some big goal, but you're reminded constantly that your friends are going out to the bars, or they're hanging out with each other at a barbecue, having a good time, you're going to feel like you're missing out. FOMO. Fear of missing out. And it's just this barrage of messages to you all day long that you're missing out. Instead of having your feed be filled with people and things that inspire you to make the sacrifices, to have the motivation, to take the steps to build the life that you actually want. Now, there's nothing wrong with your friends and what they are doing, but maybe you need to stop spending time watching what they're doing and catching up with what they're doing as a form of entertainment. Your new form of entertainment needs to be all the people on this planet who are doing the exact things that you want to do, so that you too can learn how to talk like them, learn how to be like them, understand the steps they're taking, so you can actually get it done. These were the 6 strategies to keep pushing forward even when you're not feeling motivated. If you like this video and are ready to take the next step towards building your dream life, check out my next video.